for president. I got some on my mind. I just woke up out of my dream just thinking about this shit. And it pissed me off. My dreams sometimes be putting me in a bad mood sometimes. First off, I want to start by saying this. Y'all want to know the reason why women do the stuff that they do? Why women does the stuff that they do? How women can actually fuck you up in a relationship. Lie to you. Steal from you. Cheat on you. Abuse you. All kinds of shit. Betray you. All kinds of shit. Tell your family on you that you done did every little thing. I'm talking about every little thing that you ever done did. They tell their family on you, like they're a kid or something. Then after they get done fucking you up, it's your fault. Meaning that they don't give a fuck about fucking you up. Why do you care about what they got going on? And the reason why they operate in this fashion, because let's be for real, systematically, they prevent us from getting these jobs and opportunities and stuff to support them. The government becomes our women men. They give women healthcare benefits, food share benefits, so they feeding their belly, they taking care of them physically, their health, shelter, that's called Section 8. All the basic necessities they give to women. So basically, the government becomes our women man. And I'm going to tell you who else is our government, our women man. I'm going to tell y'all who the guy that black women been cheating on us with. Jesus.
Nigga!
Jesus been fucking up our relationships. These women, my man is Jesus. Everything I do for her. Pay the light bill, pay the rent, work 12 hours, all kinds of shit. And you say Jesus paid for it. Thank God in the name of Jesus. So essentially what they doing, this is how the government program black women. It take the credibility from the man. It programs these black women not to see value in the men. We don't get no compensation from shit from them. And this is the reason why they say that they don't need no nigga. Because every time a black man is doing something, instead of thanking that man and appreciating that man, she would thank Jesus. Jesus didn't go out there and broke his leg working those 12-hour shifts. Jesus didn't go out there and work 12-hour shifts, getting treated less of a man at work, but had to swallow his pride because he think about your black ass and them ugly ass kids of his. Because my kids look like plum monkeys. I can't, sometimes I be like, I don't like looking at their ugly ass. But I got to love them. I ain't bullshitting. And I go out there and bust my back, break my back. And the praises that this woman give, the most appreciative and loving that these women will show love to is a Jesus that she never even met before. Which caused them to feel like they could do whatever the fuck they want to you. Because guess what, black man? These women is programmed all around not to be concerned about your feelings. I'm Jay Prince for president, and I approve this message.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Make me feel like a president. First black president. Dum, 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 dum.
From the courtroom to the grill, Judge Joe Brown JJB barbecue sauce. Man, the last time me and my girl was barbecuing and we got us a bottle of that JJB barbecue sauce, I lick my fingers and I dare her to lick hers. Judge Joe Brown ought to be ashamed of himself for bringing all this smoke to the barbecue. I'm Jay Prince for president and I approve this message. We gonna finish that.
Don't be fucking rude. Are you kidding me?
What's going on, Black House? What's the word? Today I had got some disturbing news, and I'm a little bit upset about it. A fellow brother of mine that's an active father. For those of you who don't know, I'm an active father. And by me being an active father, I got a heart for other black, especially black men who are actively fathers and trying to be good fathers and change the trajectory on how they try to paint us black niggas. That black men, this is the narrative that they try to paint, that black men back in the day all left their kids, abandoned their kids. Where your daddy at? When we talk about our experiences that we had with the women who was the rulers of the black race for the past 7 years, where the daddy at? Where the daddy was at? No accountability at all, right? So now in 2023, we've been doing it before 2023, but I'm just talking, I want to play word salad. You have black men that trying to be a good father to their children. And just like 1965, who stands in the way of that? Who stood in the way of black men trying to be fathers for their children? Women, right? Black women, right? And I got somebody who went to the courts, and the courts just showed they bias against them. It exposed how the system has been towards men, especially black men, for a long time. Y'all remember a time ago, I'm gonna bring that video up, when I recorded the courthouse, family courts. The lady who gave me the raw butt naked truth of how they view, especially us black men, when we go on family courts. And I'm gonna drop that video. And what's up, B Sammy? What's up, Raheem? What's up, American Negro? Anthony Demond, D Bacon. What's up, y'all? Shout out to the Black House. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all hit the sub button, hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the super chat. Y'all been super chatting like crazy lately. I'm really proud of y'all for that. I'm using the money invest in good faith. The food truck almost done. So make sure y'all hit your boy Cash App. Instead of doing the super chats today, make sure y'all just slap my Cash App on there. It's at the bottom of the screen, J Prince 2024. Because I'm trying to get this food truck up and running. I made a video. Y'all can go back and watch the video. The progress that I have came from, with the food truck. So I'm doing it for my kids. Thank for the grace of God, I got my children. And that's why I'm trying to tell people, because they took my anecdotal experience and try to apply that for all men that try to get their kids. No, I just got blessed with some fucked up ass baby mamas to the point where they didn't want their kids really. So thank God that I got blessed with some fucked up baby mamas and it ended me with my children. Okay, I'm gonna bring a fellow brother up who actually experienced this, and he's hot. Matter of fact, I had woke up, in a good mood. When I heard his story, I got so motherfucking mad. I could have put my arm through my house in your house. I was so goddamn angry. We were supposed to do the show at 4 Central, But I said, fuck that. As he kept talking, I said, man, we finna do this right now. Right now. So welcome aboard, my boy Cali. Y'all have seen him on the Bruiser Show. Welcome, Cali. What's going on, big dog?
What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
Pretty good. So I got this disturbance card from you, and it really bothered me. And as you was telling me, explaining me the story, I was making a thumbnail, and I was so pissed. So tell me about this experience that you had in family court. Also, with the stepfather. Go ahead, Kelly.
All right, man. I definitely I appreciate you bringing me on, and I feel like, man, change has to come. So I started me a little petition, and as well, I started reaching out to people to try to get on many platforms as I can to express my concerns about active fathers in the family court. So I'm not going to put any names with the situation, of course, because this is on the air and stuff like that. But just to put the scenario to the light. So we have, and everybody know me, follow me. You follow me or seen some of my social media, Cali_elite_training. I am basically I'm a father, a mentor, I am a coach in many communities, not just my own. And basically, it's just like I'm teaching student athletes how to be students first. That's what my nonprofit is. And basically, I have an up and coming, I would say mini superstar. I would say my son. I've been around. I've been active his whole life, and we've trained and we've done everything to prepare him for this moment. And upon coming back from a vacation trip, he got many calls from like schools from like Oak Hill Academy, Sila up in New Jersey, formerly known as Olympus, St. Francis Academy, Hillcrest Prep. There's just a lot of big time schools, and everybody knows how basketball is in high school. You got to go where they are now. You got to make the move and be and support your youth, kids, any student athlete that wants to have that opportunity and have that opportunity. And had the conversation with, it was me, his mom, him, and of course, here we go again, stepdad. Stepdad is always present for some odd reason in a decision with my kids. And I am very upset with that at this moment as a father. So before the conversation even started, it was a no. Her decision flies as no, we're not doing it. Got it. But the pros and cons, like I said, I tell my son all the time, I give him the pros and cons of route A, pros and cons of route B. Now you make your decision and talk to your mother. I'm all on board, whatever you want to do for the best interest of you. Well, that conflicted to a 17-year-old child wanting to remove himself from his mother's house, which means,
Can I ask a question before you get to that part?
Yes.
When you brought up the stepfather, what actually transpired? Do you think she came up with this decision based on the fact of what her new husband wanted for the child?
That I can't fully give a complete answer on it, but I don't know if that was the case. But at the end of the day, those are my kids and her kids, so that should be our decision. And in regard to that, she's very adamant. I think so. Basically, we didn't have the best relationship, in our marriage when we were married while I was serving in the military. Things didn't end well, and then we've been separated since 2013. It's 10 years later, and I don't know if the animosity, the anger, whatever it is, you don't use kids as weapons. And I think and she knows that's my weakness, to utilizing, my boys against me to make me upset or get mad. But I don't get mad anymore. Life grows on, and, everybody grow up and we handle things accordingly differently. But to kind of like to fast forward back to the story is once that conversation took place, they went home, we went our separate ways, and I get a call back later, from him saying, well, she said I have to live with you if I want to go to this school. And I was like, what does that mean? That means you got threatened to be put out the house. Like, how are you going to threaten your son to be put out the house because he wants to do what's in the best interest for him? Like, he really wants to attend this national school. And then on top of that, I get a call after he calls me. I'm done. I'm done. You can have him. You can have him. I'm done. Right. So then he comes back to my house the following Sunday. Didn't want to return. So this been ongoing since the week of, August 10th. We're now on September 1st. And man, it's just that transpired. He didn't want to go home. And I was to blame of trying to drop off. If you read the court documents, state I dropped off 2 kids, but I didn't drop off the oldest. I missed his doctor's appointments, his dental appointments, and all this other stuff. But the kid did not want to go home. So when you speak to law enforcement, you speak to Child Protective Service, Social Service, Harford County Court, any legal aid in the state of Maryland, the age of 16 and 17, they cannot force this child to go home. So in the midst of it, the most important thing that they're worried about is what? His safety. So what did I do while he was away? He was at his friend's house at first. And then while he was there, I'm sending him money so he can eat. I'm making sure he's good, getting stuff going on. I even made sure he got a physical because he missed his physicals because he didn't want to be around, his mother at the time. And I'm being called like, hey, court ordered to drop a minor child off. So mind me, I'm away at work. So by the time I pick him up as I'm coming back home from work, I met her at the police department. Right? She tried to get me to meet him at the hospital. I said no because I don't trust anything you got going on. So we met at the police department around 12 noon. They had a little conversation. Her, him, and the husband. There we go again. The husband is kind of in the mix of all of this, and it's me and her children. And they had a conversation, and what happened? He gets back in the car with me. So following that, now it's all going to major court proceedings. Now, if you read the rulings and filings that's on the documents, basically emergency hearing to pick up the child. I didn't drop off the child. She didn't state that she threatened to she did put on one of the documents I read later that she threatened him out of anger, but she later apologized to him about being kicked out of the house. Right? And then on top of that, she's going up to the new school he's enrolled in, trying to disenroll him, harassing him. Right? The kid has to be in school. He doesn't want to attend this school, and then come to find out during the proceedings that from the original school that she enrolled him in, they was originally supposed to go to another school. And back in March, after he won a state championship, I told her and this coach, hey, allow him to explore his options because a lot of his options are coming up. Right? And boom, she followed this old coach and he went to this new school. But to enroll him in a new school, who was listed as parent number 2 on the application and on the contract? The husband, right? But if you look on the parenting agreement in the court order, it states that it says mother and father must agree on all decisions, blah, 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 for school. And then my name must be listed on
Can I ask you a question?
record. Yes.
You said who is listed as the second parent?
The husband.
How long have you been knowing that?
Well, she did it before on a previous school thing, and that's what we went to court for 2 years ago and all this other stuff, and I was taken back for like child support and all this. This during COVID. Mommy, COVID, we trying to figure out how to work and all this other stuff. And I'm in court.
We had to say we just say C19 or something like that.
Okay. C19.
Was you on the list?
I was not on the list.
So you saying the mom put the husband on the list, but not you?
Correct. So the answer I got from the court documents is because I live 3 hours away, which is a lie because I live less than 2 hours away, maybe a little over 2 with some traffic, but I'm always.
They talking about there and back.
Yeah, that's to my house to their house. Correct.
Yeah, I bet you, man. I know when you found out that you weren't on the list and her husband was, I could just imagine you felt like this before.
I'm tired of this shit. Kill all these motherfuckers. I'm sick of this shit. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. Fuck this shit. So many motherfuckers fucking tired of this shit. Don't let me kill all you motherfuckers. Come on, I mean, motherfucker. Oh.
man, that's right on point. Classic movie there too. I definitely felt that way. And then on top of that, I'm arguing with the admissions specialist of the school, trying to get on listed on the school because they calling her to notify her that I'm trying to get in contact with the kids or trying to obtain records. But it's court ordered from before that I should already be enrolled and court order should be on file. None of that is never on file.
So none of that went on file.
No,
The court order wasn't on file?
no. I had to put it on file myself.
That's crazy. Like, okay, when you went to court to get your joint custody, that should have been documented.
All this was documented and oversaw when it came to the overall ruling. Everything that happened transpired overall rule. And the cold part about it is I'm pissed off because I'm in the middle of something that had nothing to do with me. I was just dad, and the ruling basically overturned for me. Like, I really was threatened to, like, we're in court for him, a decision for him to go to school, but then the lady was like, well, we're going to take you back to child support if you don't agree to her terms. Why are y'all? We're not, and my ex-property is, we're not there for this. We're there for him right now. And if you guys want to tackle that button again, we can do it again.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't bother me again, and everybody. And then on top of that, she gets away with not listing all her, jobs, and she's married now and all that other good stuff. And it just bothers me that every time a decision has to be made, the court has to make it for the children.
Right. So y'all didn't have like no mediation and nothing in place?
She refused the mediator.
Oh, she refused her husband in her ear.
Correct.
So what does the husband take on this? Is he? I'm quite sure the husband is down with you seeing your kid and you know what's right and best for your kid, right?
Honestly, I fully can't give you that complete answer on behalf of the husband, but at the end of the day, I feel like he's in the way in regards to her. She says nothing. Like, when you see with her talking, he does majority of the talking, as if there's a problem.
Wait a minute.
She barely talks. Like, I really think something is. I'm not trying to put.
So you gotta talk to another man
about my kids.
About your kids.
Correct.
And so how do the law feel about that?
Man, the law is he was in the courtroom talking to her lawyer more than she was talking to the lawyer.
And the judge, nobody say, sir, you don't have nothing to do with this. This is not your job.
They didn't say not a word, brother.
I cannot imagine. Let me. Hold on. I gotta come up for this. I can never imagine me have to talk and negotiate, not with my baby mother, but with her husband about my child. I can never imagine that. And I got to be frankly honest. That would make me mad enough to the point where I would probably spend the rest of my life in prison. My dad that same type of stuff was charged. They tried it on my dad, and my dad quashed them lines heavy. And I think I'm just like my daddy. I'm not threatening nobody, but I would rather see that. I would rather see them in the grave. I would rather see them dead than me have to negotiate with a man that don't got nothing to do with my child. I would rather see them dead, and I don't wish death on nobody. You was technically getting G'd out your kid. You getting robbed out your child, and this punk. Is he a black man, white man, what?
Black man.
This punk ass nigga, he probably one of them simp ass niggas. He technically is simp because anytime a man go try to take in somebody else's kids, do he have kids of his own?
He finally just had one 3 years ago with
With
her.
your wife, with her,
Yes.
I would try to get back with her and take charge of his child. Like, dog, I can. Nothing in my soul. I got to be honest. Nothing in my soul will let me rest, knowing that it's another man that I got to answer to about my kid. I'm sorry, dog. We would have had to talk. We would have, man. I would have never let that rest. Violence would have definitely occurred. Definitely, we definitely had to got violent, and then I would have never stopped there. She deserved that. I hate to say this. I'm not advocating, and let's clear. I'm saying what I would do. I'm not in that situation, and I'm not telling him what to do. I'm saying for me, I don't think I would have had enough impulse control to control myself. Hopefully, hopefully I don't go to their house with no weapon on me, because at that point, I would have took that so motherfucking personal and offended. I don't think the courts would have been able to stop my actions in that heat of the moment. Yeah, after the fact, I'd be like, man, why the fuck I do that? But in heat in that moment, I don't think I could have let that rest. Like, no, that wouldn't slide like that. That would have never ride like that. So let me take this off me. So how do you think the tension is with you, your sons, in the step in the step dummy?
At this point of after what took place, I just know how my boys are. They will basically do what they got to do to basically get by, to continue doing what they're doing. But at the end of the day, deep down inside, I know that it's bothering them, because at the end of the day, this is the cold part that bothered me. You had a 17-year-old sitting behind me in the courtroom, watching them blame me for a decision he won. Following that court proceeding that evening, it came out of his mouth verbally. Took him around his friends, and loosen up his brain and have some fun. And his friend was like, "Man, y'all went through all of this just for a decision for you want to make to go to school." He was like, "Yeah."
Because
All over
your
this
son
shit.
want to go to a certain school. You his father. Y'all got joint custody. So she
Yeah.
ain't supposed to. It was supposed to be both of y'all negotiating this.
Well, the negotiation was her rule stands. If I say yes, the son wants to go, and the mom say no, the majority rules 2-1, right? That means yes. If I say no, mom say no, and he wants to go, then you're not going.
How you feel about this comment? Sugar Mom, that's her husband. That's your son, daddy too. I
No, it
think
ain't.
Sugar Bum is trying to piss us off. Now, I hate to say this, Sugar Bum. See, this is why I say the stuff that I say, and y'all don't like what I be saying. When y'all sit up here and say black men is killing black women 400 times, 400 murders, 400 black women die in the hands of black men a year.
Hey, tell her she needs to add the
This is why.
terminology stepfather to it. That's not his daddy. I am his biological father. He doesn't
Right.
have to abide by anything. That husband cannot put his hands on your child. That husband legally cannot make decisions that are court ordered between a mother and a father. That's not in the ruling of thumb. That's not in the law.
And even if it was in the law, sometimes you can't let the law determine. I want to say this to Sugar Bone. The law not going to protect you all the time. If you under the assumption that men, just because the court say give you a pass, give you and your husband a pass, that men's just going to follow that.
I got
That's
something even better though.
When you mess with a man's kid, go ahead.
I got something even better, since whoever this is very intelligent or smart or trying to make somebody mad. Well, if he's considered the daddy too, why isn't his income included in the child support proceedings?
Right.
Why is it that just the moms versus the opposing father, but the stepdaddy, quote unquote, his daddy too, gets to make decisions? He don't make no financial decisions. He makes no educational, emergency, anything decisions.
And B Sammy say, I understand what she is saying though. We can't control who the woman goes with once we break up or separate. Be
Not
sad.
that's not that, but I don't think. See, these questions are not going pertaining to what we're talking about, and I kind of get where you guys are going with these questions, but those questions don't pertain to kind of what we're talking about because at the end of the day, we're talking about the biological parents and the biological children. We are the biological parents who makes the biological decisions on our biological children.
And see, he under the act of you can't control what women do. Yes, you can. When this, why I say, I do believe once a woman get what they decide to go with a new husband, those kids who she had previous marriage or whatever should go with their father, especially like yourself. You're an active father. Just because y'all not together, you're an active father. Those kids should be in your custody. And she come to see him on the weekends. I think the courts is instigating a lot of black women murders and deaths. They instigating a lot of black men's deaths. Because it's Sugar Bomb and women that think like you. If you really believe that men just gonna sit back just based off what the judge and the court say, and you think that all men just are scared of the jail, in the heat of the moment when you fuck with somebody's kids, I know this firsthand. My daddy got in his car to try to kill a bunch of motherfuckers. If you really believe that the law's gonna save you, because you gotta go to court. It only take you a couple of minutes for motherfuckers to start dying. And this is the reason why we see when they tell us about, I hate to just harp on this, but when we see about black women getting beat up by black men, black women getting murdered by black men, they don't give you the context. I guarantee you, if we hear about these murders, because they want to say it should be never no reason why a man should hit a woman or do this to a woman. The context that he's saying, that's a good enough reason to get your shit busted wide the fuck open. I hate to be so blunt. I know he's feeling this way, but he's still trying to keep cordial, save face, and all this other type of stuff. He don't want to fuck up his life. But I guarantee you, if he was literally face to face with this man outside of court and that woman, and they was talking this shit, he probably would have fucked him up. And she would have, I hate to say it, I would have said, because she deserved that shit. Her and him. They both deserve to get fucked up. The courts can't make me let you rob me out of my kids.
Active father for everything. That's the crazy part. And my whole thing is this. I was threatened for like more child support. The crazy part about it is I pay for tuition, right, for the kids. I still pay child support. I pay for all travel and AAU sports. She drops them off on the weekends. She don't get no money for food. She don't get no money for hotels. She don't get no money for nothing. And she still gets paid, right? On top of that,
right,
these kids call me throughout the week because she works 2 full-time jobs and he works at this crazy hospital or run the house, and they don't get home till 11, 12 o'clock at night. She works throughout the night. She got 2 full-time nursing jobs. He got a full-time job. And then on top of that, the kids talking about all they got is cereal in the house. My son came over here and told me he's been sleeping on the floor with a broken bed for the last year and a half. Like, he came, like, that's what he told me. And you ain't worried about him going. And then I had to leave the courtroom saying, well, I got to pay for his new school stuff. Still got to pay tuition. Still got to pay child support. And still got to support whatever he needs or whatever they need overall. So I lost in the matter of everything, all because the child decided I don't want to live with his mother anymore. And
so
they went in and talked about, I don't want to break up my family.
Basically, what was it, a man judge?
It was a female judge.
And so she just basically like sided with the woman because she see them two married. And if y'all don't think feminism is active in these courts, they basically punish you for being a stand-up father.
Very
and
active.
The courts did. I ain't gonna say what I want to say because I don't want to get canceled or no police picking me up. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But one thing I can say, for all y'all black men out there, don't wait till something like this happen to you. You might don't have no kids right now. Eventually, you might have one. Don't wait to go through this stuff. Now you want to join team. Why would you wait? We need numbers now. All it is, just hold yourself accountable. Choose better. You picked it and all that's bullshit. Because they not look on the flip end, they not telling the women to choose better. You picked him. Even the niggas, the men coming in that's enabling these women bullshit, not telling these women you picked them, so you have to deal with the consequences. Choose better. They don't tell the women that. All of this, you trying to be a man stuff, go on with this man shit. Go on with that.
It's wild because I look at it as this. To everybody that's watching this, you have there's millions of active, court cases, whatever you want to call it locally in every courthouse of non-active fathers. Non-father that's never seen a child a day in his life. Father don't even call. Father never even been to a basketball game. And they are left alone. The active fathers are the one that has to go through the mud, go through all this trouble.
That's a fact. And then free JDC1 say wear a condom. Okay. And this is what I'm saying. It's always on the side of the man. The man got to make all these responsibilities. But when it comes down to taking financially stuff, responsibility, where it takes two. So what about the bitch though? If you tell me wear a condom, tell that bitch to pull up her panties. Close her legs. Because she got to be the one to say yes to sex and yes to unprotected sex. So, free JC1, you telling men to wear a condom, why you ain't telling the bitch to stop giving men permission? Because I don't give a fuck how much we want to take that condom off. That bitch have to say you don't have to wear no condom or wear a condom. She got to give you the say so. Why is we acting like these women is some retarded hoes? Y'all trying to make it seem like bitches just plumb retarded. Like men just making all of the sexual decisions for them. The point is, yes, you're right. The active fathers always gonna have it hell because not only that you're going against the mother, the system didn't tend for you to be a good active father. It wasn't built around that. That's why they don't have nothing in place for active fathers, for niggas that try to step up. They don't have nothing in place for that. It was intended for you to be a deadbeat. And what she did, what that judge did in court, what they were trying to do to you is hopefully make you say, well, fuck this shit. And leave them alone, leave the woman and the kids alone and her new husband, leave them alone, let them live free, and you just pay what you got to pay.
And that's technically how I'm seeing it, because at the end of the day, they're not prepared for me to, I'm going dry trying to stay with a lawyer because they charge a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like, what in the world? And at the end of the day, I'm served with papers and I don't even be doing nothing. I could be at a basketball game rooting on my son and I'll be looked at crazy. Like they really want me to just leave him alone. Like she walks in the court as if I want full custody. Technically, we split 50-50 at this moment because the kids are really weird. Even with the
Also, you have
2-hour delay, we still split the kids 50-50 year round. Technically, really.
Well, if you split 50-50, child support shouldn't be like, because I got joint placement and joint custody.
Now we share physical and legal custody of all kids, 50-50.
Right. And see, they said, well, Sugar Bomb said, well, Jay Prince, you got your kids. I didn't win my kids in court. Let's make that very clear. Let's make that very clear. I didn't win my kids in court. I start off the conversation acknowledging that, thank God, I had kids by some sorry ass women who didn't want their kids. One that didn't want them, one that did some foul shit.
Hey, can I be transparent on this one? Truth be told, I don't think she really wants the kids.
No, she don't.
Because she's just keeping the kids away from me, or at least trying, because she know that's going to hurt me. And at the end of the day, like I told you, she works 2 full-time jobs. She's barely home. She goes to the games in between. I coach my kids in travel sports from March until mid-August, right? In the last 2 years, out of 33 tournaments, guess how many I've seen her at? 4. 4 out of 33. That is a low number percentage of showing up on a weekend. If you this so quote unquote, and then on top of that, you're trying to go in there and make the course look like I'm a dummy. He doesn't worry about academics. I have 2 master's degrees. I run a nonprofit. I run a nonprofit teaching student athletes how to be students first. I offer tutor services to help kids. You can't get in college without grades. I'm on these kids about their academics. Going in court trying to badger me as if I don't do anything and I'm just this dumb dude in the streets that's just trying to be an active. I'm very active.
See, the thing is, women, the honest truth is, women is powerless, right? They some powerless motherfuckers, and you right, they do not want their kids, but the courts give them power. Because without the courts, if the courts wasn't in place, you have your kid, and if that nigga want that punk ass husband of hers, whenever be able to say shit, whenever be able to do shit, if you'd have walked in your house and took your kids, if the courts wasn't involved, right? That's why I be asking these women, what would you do when because one day black men gonna finally stand up, and we're gonna stop being afraid of they punk ass jails and who they white man and who white man is without the bail. What happens when that court is not involved to protect your punk ass no more? That shit that she pulling won't never fly. You know what be happening? It'd be some dead simp ass stepdaddies. It'd be some dead baby mamas. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. I hate to sound so violent, but when you talking about somebody's kids, playing with somebody's kids, at what point when people say I die for my kids, well, this to me, this will be the time to die for them. My daddy did. He tried to, at least. It fucked him up in the end. Because he had a prominent job as a trucker. Now he had to work at a car wash afterwards.
Yeah,
but at
wild,
the same time,
it's wild. Using kids as weapons in the court system is terrible. Baffles me. For any mom that ever does that, that is absolutely wrong. Your relationship and hatred towards the man that you guys had kids with, that is y'all relationship. That has nothing to do with you, the kid, and the father itself. The kid has nothing to do with the situation.
Well, right.
Stop bringing in kids.
See, the thing is, this is what we fucking up at. Stop trying to talk sense to them. They know that shit is bogus. Stop trying to talk sense and try to work on their conscience, saying that's wrong. They know what they doing is wrong. Black women ain't stupid. They know what they doing is wrong. The thing is, here's the thing, and I hate to keep talking like this, but when I see a woman that moves like that, I just stare at them in their face and just picture their death. And I celebrate that bitch. Celebrate. Like, I hate to sound so evil, but you got to be an evil punk bitch made motherfucker. You got to be an evil bitch made motherfucker for you to rob a child, because that's not the best interest of the child, right? The best interest of the child is not trying to prop up this bitch to prop up this bitch and to get rid of his, his kids. Prop up this woman to use his kids as a weapon. No, we need to stop trying to guilt trip them. Stop trying to make them understand that that's wrong. Because we talking as if like women don't know that's wrong just because they doing it. Just like there is no different from a nigga pulling a pistol to you. He know what he and taking your money. He know what he doing is wrong. He robbing you. They robbing you. She robbing you. She robs you from your boys. And she got a punk ass nigga that's helping her, backing her and backing her up, and the government is co-signing it. That's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. She robbing you. Her punk follower ass nigga. I hate to call him. That's your baby mama. She married. I call him a punk because one, why would you want to be involved with somebody else's kids and stuff like that and move out the bed? I hate to say this, but he must think he's soft.
No.
And I'm gonna say this. The reason why I say he perfect, even though I know you ain't soft, you was in the military. He don't know that side of you. You haven't. Sometimes, dude. Sometimes that nice world stuff. Sometimes you gotta show a motherfucker that you ain't with that. In fact, I guarantee you, if you would have been one of those ruthless motherfucking baby daddies, without the band, I'm not saying that you the baddest nigga on the planet, but if your baby mama would have known that you the type of nigga would take it to the extremes about yours, that you ain't gonna play about your kids, this shit would have never happened. That nigga, you won't have to even talk to that nigga about your kids. She using that nigga as a pawn. It's like a queen on the chessboard. She using him. That's her bishop that she using to protect her. So instead of her dealing with you, she gonna put her dummy in front of you. Because if y'all two get into it, so he can protect her from you because you want to come back and get what's yours, and that's your motherfucking child, your children. So in my mind, I said, okay, baby mama, this how we gonna play it? Okay, baby mama. Well, I'm gonna be contemplating day by day, year by year on taking that nigga out. Cause ain't nothing in the world, your punk ass husband not gonna keep me from my kids. That bitch will be eating motherfucking dirt. And your ass will too. Every nigga, dog, see, a lot of people look at me and say, Jay Prince, you talking so violent and reckless in the war out the bam. Imagine a motherfucker taking your kids. If you love your kids, I won't give a fuck who's trying to stand away from it. You is not finna let nobody, especially you active in your kid's life. You're not gonna let no judge, no woman, no man stop you from being in your kid's life. You coming away of a man loving his kids, he will kill you for it. And to me, it's justifiable. Fuck what the court say. I'm just saying this in my mind. I haven't killed nobody. I never did none of that. I got my kids. So by the grace of God, I didn't have to go through that. Woo out the bam. And I'm not telling you to go through that. But this is where you got to draw, where I say you draw a line at. This is why I say sometimes you got to take matters in your own hands. You stepped up. You did what you had to do to raise the kids and want the bam. You stepped up. You went to the courts. The courts made a ruling in favor of her. Okay, now I got to take matters to my own hands. Because I'm not going to stop because the courts made a ruling. I don't know. I don't mean to lead the conversation. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, man. I'm just at a pause, man. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like
It make you want to say, that's why niggas be saying fuck the kids. It's
Yeah.
they not the fathers don't be saying fuck the kids per se. The
It's
shit
just
that
a
he
verbiage.
the
It's
shit
a
that how you get
saying.
played in courts for your babies.
Yep.
You be like, man, well, fuck it then. And if nobody never been in that position, they cannot say that's fucked up. If you never been in that position, what niggas go through on a daily basis, you don't have you can't do nothing but shut the fuck up. My bad.
Yep. Yep, man. Like I said, I don't know what else to say, man. I'm just at an awe. I started a little petition to see if we can change some family court laws in reference to active fathers having a voice. Like I said, that's the only where I know to start. Honestly, you can't. I want to
Yeah,
act out of anger so bad, but at the end of the day, I'm hoping reform comes soon. And like I said, I don't know where to start at, man. I really, 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 really. What was good, sophisticated, man? I really don't know where to start in this because, like I said, I'm all dry. They drying me out trying to fight for my kids, be active in my kids' life. And then when I'm done, if I ain't got no more bread to fight, then what? I can't be active.
yeah, because now you can really appeal it. But the thing is, this shit costs so much fucking money to go through all of this.
Lawyers are charging $450 an hour. I only get 2 hours per grand to be with a lawyer. Technically,
Man.
I'm getting 2 hours for $1,000 out of somebody else's time.
And she getting hers covered.
Yep.
She got the state. She don't have to pay no money. She got the state. The best attorney is the district attorney in the state. The Sophisticated Jerk, $10. Shout out to JP and Kelly. Shout out to Sophisticated Jerk, man. What's going on, Sophisticated? Like, I think the violent stuff, I understand. Okay, we need to let that go. I was in my nigga moment.
But man,
I do
really
think
wish
that
it is crazy. You know what's the crazy part about it is too? You watch all these. I do a lot of reading. You know, that's kind of keep my brain. That's why I'm really mellow right now. I'm trying not to act out crazy, reading and meditating nowadays. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of pro bono work for criminal lawyers, right, to help criminals get off crazy charges, and stuff like that. But when it comes to a black man or a father, I'm gonna say per se in general, or even let's say an active parent. Let's keep it neutral, right? There's no pro bono work for active parents and family. We got to go pay for that. But if a guy, he murdered somebody, a couple people, and on top of that, and they know I'm not even gonna say, let's say pro bono work, it ain't for the actual person. If a person was wrongfully convicted, right? There's a lot of pro bono work out there for free lawyers and stuff like that to help a kid, and they getting the best service to get them off these crazy charges, right? And us as active fathers or active parents can't get no pro bono work. We gotta, like I told you, I'm getting $450 an hour. An hour. Like by the time you know it, like you're gonna be $100,000 in the hole trying to basically be an active parent at the end of the day, and the father's still gonna lose. There has to be some workaround. And at the end of the day, like I said, reform is not gonna change until somebody speaks up. And I feel like I'm about to be that voice.
I think okay. I hear what you're saying and stuff too, reforming and stuff like that. And the same thing that, like I'm saying about the women. The courts know what they doing is bogus. They know that. So telling them, going up there, shouting, telling them what they already know. We had to come up with a more strategic something to really stand on something. We got to make them. You know what I'm saying? How long are we gonna march for the reformation of fighting these courts for our kids?
Yeah.
How long is that gonna last? I would say probably 100-something years.
Yeah.
Because it was already designed. It's designed to not somewhat for the to betterment the best interest of the child or the woman. They just using the woman. They just using her to fuck us up. See, this system, all of these systems in place, man, they waiting for you to fuck up in any way. Even when you have kids, that was a fuck up. According to them, they view you having a kid, because they don't view y'all having a kid as a fuck up. They view you having a kid as a fuck up.
Yep.
If they can help it, they would rather have the women, have kids by themselves. But that's how they view it. These people is against you. I think that's how you need to look at it. And however you used to treating people that are against you. I don't know, man.
I ignore those type of people, right? You cut them off, but it's hard to ignore a situation that continues to come back around, because it has to come around, right? You could ignore like somebody that's pissing you off at work or pissing you off or doing something, and you never can talk to that person again today, but you got to see the kids, you got to meet up with the kids, and it's like it revisits itself every time the kids are dropped off, or the kid has a birthday, or the mom got to drop them off. Like at the end of the day, I'm no longer doing none of that. I'm just start getting and doing my own thing. I get people's methods. It messes up if the father and mother don't do a birthday party. No, I'm not doing none of that. I am not going half on anything. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna show them where it hurts. Now you about to just pay full price for everything you got going on your end, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do with mine. I'm no longer helping with anything outside of what's obligated. Now,
I think her husband is, see, if we had a community, if they listen and watching this, I want to say this to your baby mom's husband. If you watching this and we had a community, we all will be whooping your ass, punk. You need your ass beat. I'm talking to the husband. If you watching this, and if we had a community, a strong black community, and the shit that you doing trying to keep this black man from his son's life, dog, you need your ass stomped the fuck out. You need to have blood gushing from your motherfucking nose, mouth, everything. You need your ass whooped. That's what you need. You couldn't pull that shit in my hood. You couldn't pull that shit in my hood. We will fuck you up. That shit some whole ass shit. You will get fucked up. And the girls in my community will be beating up that bitch. Because that's the best interest of the child. The best interest of the child is the mother and the father. Not the mother and those step ass, dumb ass, punk ass nigga who are only there for the pussy. I wonder if you got your own kids. I wonder if he got his own kids. He couldn't pull that shit. Man, them niggas will be whooping your ass. Let's just say somebody did that to me. The amount of respect that people give me for raising my kids and stepping up and being my kids, then I get into a situation like Callie did, and it's a nigga up there trying to co-sign him for that bitch. Man, motherfuckers will be whooping his ass. And she would get whooped. That's why we need real accountability. Accountability, a black community. We need a stronger community. Because this type of shit not supposed to happen. You in the way of this man trying to father his kids. You need your ass beat and her. She don't need to be walking around this motherfucker off free Nilly and Willie. No, you need your ass whooped. Let me say it, because your boys love their mama at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I would say the girls, the women of the community need to chastise that woman. Motherfuckers need to be chastised for that. Because the shit is point blank foul.
Yeah, man, it's
Super foul.
I'm at an all right now. And I don't, like I said, I'm lost because I'm not a deadbeat. That's the crazy part. Like, that's where I'm at all. Like, it's just walking out of there. And then it hurts me more knowing, like I told you, my son was in the courtroom while they was talking. And it's just listening to him say the things he say about what he heard. It bothers him too. And at the end of the day, if you look at it, she is against the decision of him going to a national school, right? And at the end of the day, she's still not supporting him going, but because he's in court, he's going to the school he wants to go to. And at the end of the day, she's still not supporting him at this school. The court ordered me to support him 1,000% when he attends that school. If you look on the flip side of it, with everything said and done and in the court order, she still don't support what he's doing for his future.
And you know what? That's crazy as fuck, right? She ain't really doing damn thing you is. And for your son had to listen to that, right? This is why I say when they accusing us black men to be so angry and how we is disrespectful to these women. He watched his first woman of his life, your son, right? All three of your sons, technically, but your son was in the courts. He literally watched his mama, his first lady, his first woman, pull some hoe shit. Now, he ain't gonna have that resistance against his mama, because at the end of the day, you still gonna love your mama. But when he grow up and deal with women, he might adopt some anger and accountability, and he might take what his mama did to his daddy on another bitch.
And
this is why I say black women fucked up black men. Y'all ain't shit.
That's how the cycle continues. At the end of the day, you're dragging all these kids through the court system. And then you think that when they find somebody, it's going to be any different with them. They can try their hardest to do it. It's just how the world and the cookie is crumbling right now. Because we're recycling basically what we're doing to our kids and ourselves. And it transpires to within your kids. Then they're going to go through the same system. Then they're going to be pissed off. And then their kids are going to be doing the same thing. And then we're going to continue to be in the courts because they're watching it.
Yes. And by him watching it, he gonna eventually become
angry.
He gonna have anger, and then it's gonna be some more black women pulling that same bullshit on him or try to, and he gonna think back what his mama done did, that he really technically been holding in so much anger because he couldn't believe his mama pulled some bullshit, but he couldn't disrespect his mama. But this woman don't really mean nothing to him, and before you know it, hopefully he don't do it. I don't think he will because he got his father. But sometimes, dog, that type of stuff will traumatize you, and before you know it, he went up and shot a bitch face. It will be understandable.
We can't control it because I don't know his angry emotions. I can't control that. His anger could be way different than mine. I'm holding, everybody say don't hold anger in and go seek counseling. Like, I'm boiling inside right now. I'm trying my best to stay positive for him because he's around me. I'm trying to talk about it and like verbally to myself or my dad or my mom and try to stay.
When did you go to court? Because a lot of people gonna try to make it seem like this is old, something old. When was you in court?
I recently just went to court. It all started August 10th of this month, 2023.
So this just happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, all because why? He said, I don't want to live with my mom anymore. I want to live with my dad. And at the end of the day,
he's supposed to be living with his dad. The husband is not his motherfucking daddy.
I was told I was the one blamed because he wants to live with me.
Right. She trying to make it seem like she trying to impose her love for her husband onto her children. Like, she want her children to see her husband as the father, as the she just deal with you on some money tip.
Here's the good thing though. He decided he wanted to live with me after she threatened to kick him out the house to go to a private school for basketball. Because he told her, I want to go to this school. She said, get out my house. What type of mother does that? And then flip it around in the courts to try to gain control of the child again on the father. I technically had nothing to do with this court system, this court proceeding. I was just in the middle as the father. That's why it's even bothersome to me this time.
The husband. It's the husband. It's not really so much of her. It's the husband. She doing what her husband. One thing about women, and this is why I say, it could be your sisters. Your sisters would turn against you for her husband, her men that she fucking on. Your sisters then would turn against your ass for men who she's screwing. She are buying what that husband, because that man know that was gonna piss you off. And that's why I say me and Dog will have to have a real serious talk face to face.
Yeah,
I think you got to swell up his. I think you got to wire his motherfucking jaw shut.
Much as I would like, listen, I'm trying my best not to spaz. Like I have a very bad temper. I know what I can do physically, mentally, and socially.
Don't do no stuff like that. I ain't promoting no violence.
Yeah, I'm not promoting no violence at all. But I'm trying to.
Because I see you trying to be humble. I see you trying to think of the positive way of handling this situation. And don't let my old impulsive, emotional ass turn.
Of course, that's just who you is as a person. We know who you is. You always speak what's on your mind. That's it. That's why everybody love who you is. No fakeness about it.
Man, that's why I'm glad. This is where gratitude come in, right? This is where gratitude come in. The days I be feeling like rough and stuff, I be telling myself, man, there's a lot of niggas out here really fighting for their kids and going through the ringer. Niggas that's in high class standards, as far as like upper class black men going through the ringer about their kids. And I'm not on no child support. I got all my kids, but I could empathize and sympathize for my black brothers. This was just an anomaly situation that happened on my part. The stuff, how God. I think God, I don't want to say that God knew my heart and basically saying that he didn't know y'all's, but from my situation, God constructed it to be this way for me. I don't think the fight is over with. I think your sons, because they're gonna start becoming rebellions against their mama. And then your son, one of your sons, 18, you got other sons? You don't mind telling their ages?
17, 15. Well, he'd be 16 in a couple months. So really 17, 16, and 11.
Yeah, eventually she ain't going to be able to handle them. She ain't going to be able to handle them. And the husband, that respect for that husband is out the window. They're going to become more rebellious. There's going to be a lot of tension. And the mom gonna have to pick. She got to either pick her sons or her husband. But the way how life works with women, they typically gonna pick their husbands. And before you know, you're gonna have all your boys. I think I could see that's what's gonna happen for you. Because you kept it real with your boys. And they love their daddy. And the only reason why your son ain't saying nothing too much crazy now because that's still mama. But she's not going to have peace in that house. She's not going to have peace in the house while your sons is there. And now they know what's up. So the dude, the husband, he ain't gonna be able to control them now. They're gonna be more rebellious, and the mama gonna have to pick My sons or her husband. Because it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be overwhelming, and the stepfather gonna have to move out. He gonna have to move out. Because now they're gonna act the ass, they're gonna act the donkey. If I think your son lost all respect for that nigga. He won't lose respect for his mama, but you know we can't lose respect for our mama. We love our moms. But I do think your son's gonna raise hell in the house to the point where she kick him out anyway. Because she ain't gonna want to let go of her husband.
It's like it's beyond, and it's crazy. My whole thing baffled about it all. I watch. It's sad hearing my son just say everything he heard, to his friends. Like they just talking about it, and he watched it. And at the end of the day, she's still walking around looking crazy. And it's crazy because how you threaten him to put him out the house, and then he leave, and then now it's dad's fault.
This sound like that movie, that Tyler Perry movie. Remember that man, he got all his 3 daughters?
Yep, I remember that movie. Yep.
Damn, this sounds just like that.
Yep.
I think you're going to eventually end up with all your boys, though.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy because when he make his college decision, it's going to be, she going to seem what upset too. And it's going to get worse.
I ain't wishing nothing worse, but I think God I think God not gonna let. See, God, by me having a relationship with God, I know how God operates.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen right now. You ain't gonna see it right now. God might be telling you, okay, right now, Kelly, fall back a little bit. You ain't ready right now. So we gonna do this, but God gonna construct it to the point where. Because dog, I used to be punching holes in walls. I was like, you angry, you mad. Gonna pull up that baby mom on the house on them thing. Like, and when I fell back, my kids just start falling in my lap. They just zero child support. Got all my babies. They up here laying right here now. It feel good. And it's gonna happen. God gonna do it for you because he know your heart. When you trying to be a good father, God ain't gonna let them motherfuckers fuck you or the judge. She gonna have to choose.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. I don't know, man. Like as you can see, I'm holding back a lot of anger. I just trying to remain.
See, remaining calm. You already remain calm.
Yeah.
Using court. Nobody end up hurt after you left court. This is your space.
Yeah.
To let it out. You don't want to keep holding stuff in.
Yeah.
You want to teach your sons that it's okay to be emotional at times in a safe space. And this is your safe space. Nobody gonna get hurt. But at least you will let the world know how that really make you feel.
Yeah.
It's okay to live. It's okay to live in. Stop trying to not express how you truly feel. Sometimes, when stuff hurts you, I guarantee you, somebody who's raping women or did something bogus to women, they not going to be up here. I'm just going to remain calm. The world going to expect for them to react a certain type of way. Yeah, so how come you can't? So don't try to remain calm. These motherfuckers done something to you. They robbed you. They hurt you. What the fuck are you calm for? This is a safe space. It's not like you finna go to jail. You already remain calm. Because normally I think they've been willing my ass and I would have got about 3 or 4 contempt reports. Keep talking, Day Prince. I don't give a motherfucker another 90 days. Fuck you. Another 60 days. You want to keep going? Bitch. It's been 60. I'm telling you. Man, this is a safe space, man. And your sons need to know, this would teach them, because you will be teaching them life, and you don't always just want to teach them to be like, okay, I'm talking logic. Remain calm in the situations.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That way you don't fuck yourself up. But you out of those situations now.
Yeah.
You don't want to teach them to just pin in anger, because guess what's going to happen if you continue to pin this up? It's going to be 10 years later. You're going to be still pissed about this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you put Band-Aids over open bloody wound. You got to throw that Band-Aid out now. This is your turn. This is your safe space. Tell these motherfuckers, tell the world how you really feel. Just stop trying to be nice, trying to protect their feelings. Protect the women feelings. Fuck their feelings. They harmed you. They did the ultimate most damaging shit to you by robbing you from your kid. You got a right to be pissed. Why is black men, the world expect black men to be somebody that nobody in the world is? White men, black women, all these other people get to express how they truly feel, but us. We got to. Why is we us black men is trying to be these people that the world is not? Fuck that. These motherfuckers have done something to you. Because if you don't say nothing about it, you might just go over there, and it might get ugly.
Hey, trust and believe. Them thought process work did come about, but at the end of the day,
Yeah. See, when you talk about it, kind of like it comes out so nasty. Yeah. But after you talk about it so much, it'd be healing at the same time.
Yep,
but if you pin it in,
that's when everybody
they're
gonna try to label you as a psycho if you pin it in and explode. But at the end of the day,
right,
they're not looking at the repercussions of how it happened. Everybody thinks that all this stuff,
they just think black man angry for nothing.
Angry for nothing. But all of this comes out the boo, and all this crazy part about it is this all came about of an active father protecting his son who was threatened to being kicked out of a house because he wants to go to another school. I could say if he wanted to do something crazy and in the streets, then we're not there to support that. But at the end of the day, I was there to support a kid who had a dream and aspirations to play on a national level, to make it out. I mean, he's very good to make it out. And how you going to tell your kid no?
She want to have power. She want to piss you off. She want to let you know who's boss. And
Correct.
she gonna let you know I have another nigga telling you what to do with your kids. She trying to treat you. You gotta answer to my husband, another nigga who taking care of your kids. She trying to treat you like a bitch. And this is what I'm saying, because if you don't let it out, you're gonna be sitting back and you're gonna be analyzing the shit. You're gonna be overthinking before you know it, you done put the keys in that ignition. Like, okay, well, fuck it. All type of shit gonna happen. I'm trying to tell you what God loves, man. Because you are, man. That's why I say I'm grateful that I had this chance to be on these spaces, because it was more safer for me to express the stuff that I done went through on here than me just continue to ball stuff in. Then I'm replaying it and I'm analyzing like this motherfucker so-called trying to hold me or something. Baby mama trying to hold me or something. You got another nigga. You telling me I got another nigga. How do you think that relationship gonna be? Because you got to still talk to him, right? Because she making you talk to him. This shit's still in your mind, fresh. How do you think that conversation gonna be? How do you think when y'all see each other in person? How do you really think that's gonna be? Don't let him. He can say the slightest. It's gonna be the point where he gonna say the slightest shit, and before you know, you welling off on him. Baby mama screaming, "Ah, get out of here! Get out of here! Get out of here!" You ain't hearing nothing. All you hearing is you gonna be want somebody to stop you. but you gonna be hitting them so much, and you ain't gonna be able to you won't be able to stop. You gonna snap. And you gonna wake up. You gonna snap out of them like, damn, I done fucked up. Done fucked this nigga up. But I guarantee you, if that did happen, yeah, you might do 90 days. She gonna know not to fuck with you like that no more. She gonna know not to play with you like that no more. Women, they be testing lies because they never seen more, because we was taught not to snap when it comes to women. But when a woman see you snap and see how vicious and dangerous you can get, they're not gonna play with you like that. Yeah. Only reason why she playing with you because she know you ain't trying to go there, you trying to do everything the right way. So she nitpicking with you. This is how relationships with women be all the time.
Well, here the crazy part about it is, this is what really bothered me a little bit too. Like during the case for her judge, so say Francis Academy, right? It's in Baltimore. It's not. It's in the city, right? Everybody know everybody label Baltimore City as a crime, right? You know, and all this other good stuff. And like I told the so her lawyer was like, well, yeah, we're making a huge sacrifice for him to go to this school because of the neighborhood. I told him there's crime everywhere. They don't report crime in the white neighborhoods. Why? Because they want to keep their property value high. They get robbed the most, to be honest. Their house is broken in more than anything. But we're not gonna go down that route with people saying that, because we know what the truth is when it comes to that. So at the end of the day, Friday night we at the we downtown. We at the high school at the game, and the game got shot up from the outside because the school that the city was in. I mean, not his course we going to, but we went to another school down there in the city, and my middle son played football, and that football field's in the middle of the projects, right in Baltimore, right outside of the game. I guess right across the street of the projects. You know, they had their little thing on it. Bow, 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 bow. Whatever happened across the street, it wasn't in the game. No shout out happened in the game. Everybody get down, and it was like a movie. My son said. He told me this. He said it was like a movie. He said when that happened, I ran down, I got down, and I stood up, and then I was next to my mom looking for my little brother, and she told him. He said as the gunshots was going off, she said, "Are you ready for this?" Out of everything you can say during that time, as the game is being shot up on the outside of the game, you telling your son, because he's going to the school in the neighborhood. I mean, and there's nothing, if you Google the school, there's nothing wrong with school. Everybody protects those schools. And, you know, especially those athletes in those inner cities. We already know, I grew up in the inner city, you know, so I know those OGs in the neighborhood people, they protect them kids that's putting on for the city. So for you as a mother to say, are you ready for this? As far as like everything he doing is going to be, not everybody got to grow up in a good neighborhood. Not everybody can afford to grow up in a good neighborhood. A lot of good people and a lot of good athletes come out of the hood. Don't make the situation about the environment, because not all environments are good. There's no good environment in America. Let's get that straight. Everybody knows that. Ain't no good. It don't matter how much money you make. Look at these rappers. A lot of these rappers are getting what? Robbed. They live in the best of the best neighborhood. They go in there stealing millions of dollars worth of jewelry. How they getting in these houses? Look at LA. Look at Oakland. They looting like crazy. Marshalls, Nordstroms, Gucci stores. They go in there stealing racks of clothes.
Wait, so what I'm hearing, so basically, when your son want to go to these schools and you probably live in a rough area compared to the mom.
Correct.
That kind of bring a little twist, because like you got to think, right? Because I moved my kids out of the environment because it was bullets. I had came in the house, it was a bullet where I had woke up like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like 2:23 in the morning. We went to the gas station to get us like some little juices and chips and stuff. You know how you wake up, get a little sweet tooth. And I had a food stamp card. I had something left on my food stamp. Not, I had, you know, I wouldn't. Well, never mind about that. I had something on the food stamp card, and I went up there And by the time I came home, niggas was, and I stayed upstairs. I guess they was running, shooting at each other. And I came home, it was a bullet on my pillow. And we stayed in the one bedroom at the time. And that's when I up and left. About like a week or two later, I surrendered the house and I moved out of there. Because within like a week or two, I was driving around, know it. My baby in the back seat, she was like 4 or 5 at the time. I'm driving around with machine guns. And let's say one of my guys pull up on me in traffic. I'm holding the guns on my door. He can't see it because it's below the window. You know, somebody, you know, I'm driving. I'm having guns by the window. And like, I never would be in the fast lane or the middle lane. I'm always in the slow lane because I can't afford nobody coming on the side of me. The one car on this side, one car on that side. I couldn't drive like that. I always got to be on the end where that's like my blind side. So I could always be on the up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what up, dog? What's going on? They don't know I got that thing. I'm having plenty of guns in the car. And I got tired of driving like that. Like, that was kind of scary because even though you got to watch out for them people that, you know, because, you know, they could just walk up and start shooting. Me and my brother, we were driving one day and we almost hit this car and the dude got out bucking at us. And so I understand, like, okay, now that kind of bring a different twist. Not the court stuff.
Yeah.
But like sometimes women get done when they in protective mode. I think that's part of why she fighting so hard, because you gotta keep in mind when women hear gunshots, and especially when, you know, she hear gunshots, motherfuckers dumping. She gonna go protective mode, especially when she done seen it. You know, when you just said she was at the park while they was shooting her son playing at this park. Women always say bullet don't got no name on it. So I think had you would have been living in a different environment where it wasn't like that on an everyday basis, I think it would have played out differently. I think she just don't want her sons over in that area. Because if you'd went to a neighborhood and seen your kids, and she probably want her sons them growing up in around your neighborhood and ending up one of them niggas one day shooting. So that could be it too. Because let's say you had daughters, because living in certain neighborhoods where women getting raped all the time. Let's just say you want to go visit your baby mama house. You got daughters that live in this area. Well, let's say you let your daughters. Let's paint a scenario. You got full custody. You living in a decent neighborhood. You got 3 daughters. You let your daughters go by her mama house. You go visit the mama, like at a dance team or cheerleader team. And next thing you know, you hear somebody screaming or something because a couple of cheerleaders done got raped. Or a couple of girls done got kidnapped. Would you send your daughters back over there?
Nah.
Why not?
Why would I send them over there in that situation? Well, at the end of the day,
you're not gonna be thinking like it's crime everywhere.
No. So
it's some safer environments than other ones.
Well, like you putting that in a scenario kind of like hard. So and girls are a lot different than boys. So I think that's kind of where
I think she don't want her sons to end up like one of them niggas. The biggest, some women. I think outside of the court stuff. That shit is bogus. But I think like it's a lot of women is afraid for her black boys.
Yeah, but see, let me kind of change the scenario. Let's take it back. So I'm gonna change the scenario, right? You go to let's take Morgan State for instance, right? It's in the inner city of Baltimore, right? do you see now down there in the inner city of Baltimore, crime happens on, you know the crime rate in Baltimore. You hear about shootings that happen
Yeah.
downtown Baltimore, right? But do you see the enrollment of that school going down because of the crime rate, right? People living on campus, going to class, getting their degrees, right? It's like right in the inner city of Baltimore, right? Do you see that school shut down because of shootings happening 5 miles up the road that way? That never pertains in that environment, right there.
Yeah, but a lot of times, like it's schools, like it's houses and schools is packed up in the hoods where we from, but that's because they're accustomed to that lifestyle. Like you said earlier, white people don't report certain crimes because it make their value go down, because the value gonna go down because people not gonna want to be there. They're not gonna want to see their kids there. So
Correct. But people still report those values in Baltimore, right? Like I say, Morgan State still, they high admission. I mean, there's a lot of students there right now at the HBCU playing basketball, playing football, and baseball, softball. I mean, they living on campus. So nothing really happens maybe once, I say once every 3 years on the campus. I've noticed, or some small fights break out, but nothing really in the city of in any hood. You grew up in the hood. How many how many OGs? Because I'm talking our age now. How many OGs go to a random school and just shoot up the school and not protect the school? Right? I've never seen any OG. That's why original gangsters back in the day, I call them the old heads. Old people going to a school, shooting up a school where the kids at. These kids nowadays, youngsters, are going to these youngsters, these new original gangsters, I would say, or new youngster gangsters are shooting up stuff like that. Not the old heads. They don't play about the kids. That's one thing they don't bring the violence around. And I think that's kind of. Say it again.
I don't think you would want to take that risk, because it has been niggas, drug dealers, or gang members, niggas just on the block, they get into it, shooting at each other. Kids was just on the park playing basketball, and nobody else got hit.
No, but I think, but what I'm saying is, it's not really saying at the park. We talk about a school. I'm kind of dropping the scenario to the school. There's not really. How can I say this? How I put this? There's not very many people going to a school and be like, "Well, I'm just gonna go shoot up this school today," because.
Right. I understand that. It's just that I still not gonna want my kids in that environment. I don't care how good the school is.
Gotcha. Okay.
Me personally, I won't care I don't care what, because it got to be better, other better schools probably, in like I won't want my kids like in that environment, like, because I know. Even though I know, like, niggas ain't thinking about going to shoot up no schools, I get you on that. But at the same time, when you in protective mode, it's just that, I don't know. Even if I had sons, now they gonna do what they want to do when they hit a certain age, but I'm gonna try to, like, nah.
So now let's flip the script kind of in my scenario, right?
I think if you move, it'll be a different.
Now let's say if you have sons, right, and they had better options in regards to that last option that's kind of in the inner city of a school, right? Why would you turn down those better options? What will be your cause? What will be your answer to say, well, you can't go here because it's out of state, or the distance, or if you can't stay in the dorm?
Repeat that again.
So basically, let's take for instance, my son had an opportunity to go to Oak Hill Academy, right? You probably heard of Oak Hill, Carmelo, all of them went there, played there. Great environment, right? Why would you turn down that option, and then get mad because his last resort is to go to a school in the inner city?
See, me and you, we grew up in the inner city.
Yeah.
Once I moved out of the inner city, I didn't realize how much danger my life was growing up. Like, when I look back at the hood, like, I grew up in Milwaukee. While I'm in Milwaukee, it didn't feel like I was in no danger. It didn't feel like that. Even though I'm on a bus stop watching niggas shooting at each other. I helped the dude up that got shot. They were shooting back and forth at each other. This just a normal day thing. When I moved out of Milwaukee became very scary to me. I'm like, damn, I could have lost my life at so many different times. And so I was like, dog, that shit ain't normal.
Yeah.
But it became normal for me because I was in it. This is all I know. But once I had the opportunity to move away from it, now that I'm looking back at it, looking back at Milwaukee, I'm like, dog, that's not normal.
Yeah.
To be in those environments, not normal environments. Not even just the killings and stuff, just the surroundings. Milwaukee got this dark cloud, right? A lot of people angry. Ain't no trust there. You barely can speak to people. It's like, you know, if you do speak to people, motherfuckers, you know, trying to get something out you, it's like this. It's just like this dark cloud. It's like depressing, like this dark cloud. That's why I don't like to go back there. So that was another reason why I moved my kids. And I don't know, man. I think you probably have to see that perspective, as far as like the school perspective. I truly believe if you wish to move in a better environment, different,
No,
like
but
a
I see
different
it though. But
environment.
my thing is, but there's no answer to basically why couldn't a child take the better option? Like you turned down 4 better options and left him no choice to have that inner city option.
Also, he had other options as far as like moving away.
Yes.
Well, come on now. Like now look at the options that she's getting. Your baby mama getting. Right
Yeah,
now,
but
let's role play again. You got 3 daughters.
okay.
Now you say you want to put your daughters in an environment where they raping little girls and stuff like that. So now
Correct.
that's one of your options. You send your daughters to that environment, or send your daughters away. Me and Mike can do it.
Though. I mean,
yeah,
so you have to. But so my argument, I'm not gonna say my argument. My thing to say against this is, let's put your daughters, right? They're in cheer. Let's say they're cheerleading, right? 17 years old, and they done outdid every cheer thing in your city where you live at now, right? But the biggest option to make it out for them to get a full ride scholarship, they got to go to the next 4 hours away, right? Live in the dorm for the school year. The school day consists of them working on, you know, gymnastics, cheer stuff, going academics, so they can get a full ride scholarship. You wouldn't allow your kids to do that for 7 months for the school year. They only go into school. They go in September. They'll be back by March 1st when fall and winter sports are over. I mean, you gotta look at their future too. We can't harbor them because of there's crime everywhere. We can't hold them. We can't hold them home.
It's not just about the crime. It's like the options. Like, okay,
yeah.
By me like raising my kids on a daily basis. Me and my babies ain't finna leave me. I ain't finna just get my they ain't going no damn where. Not no out of state. They barely gonna leave my house.
Yeah,
but not no out of state. I can't protect them from 4 hours away.
But that's for the best interest of their future. Like they really, because times is changing. We can no longer send our kids around the corner to say, hey, this is for the best interest of you, and you're gonna make the best of trying out for the Black Hawk Panthers. There's no more Black Hawk Panthers is gonna get you a scholarship for their future, unless you plan on paying full tuition for college even though you don't want them to leave home. To better their chance.
I see what you're saying, what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Okay, logically,
yeah.
you might be correct. But emotionally,
yes, there we go.
I think I'm gonna ride on my emotional side on this.
Yes, and that emotional side is what caused the kid to run away.
I understand. This is
Yeah,
the part
see?
where I understand moms at though.
Yeah.
I understand moms like because when
But
you
he didn't, bro.
when
But
you been
listen,
raising your babies and your babies somehow moving out of state and shit.
yeah, but listen, hey, long story short, college recruitment, right? Are they going to a normal high school nowadays, recruiting you for college?
That
No, you don't. You have to go to a national school. You have to find a national program that wants you. That is the only way you're gonna get seen to get out of there because of all the craziness that's going on. You have to play on that. They're not going to a public school anymore. Long story short.
so you basically said the only two options that they got either go to school out of state or go to school in a high crime infested area.
No, we're not even putting the high crime area in it. What I'm saying is, so he had options. Let's go with. I'm not putting the names. He had options, right? He had options to go an hour up the road to New Jersey, right? It's literally 1 hour, not even that from where they live. An hour and 5 minutes for traffic, right? You had an opportunity to be around the corner from Dad's house in Virginia at Oak Hill Academy, which is an hour and 27 minutes from my house, right? Then you had the option. I mean, I get this option, Hillcrest Prep. That's all the way in Arizona. They're one of the top ones, right? And then your last and final option was the school in the inner city. So you turned down the 3 top options, which is an hour from Dad's house or an hour from Mom's house, or then you got the one that was in Arizona. To leave him no choice to be stuck with a national schedule in the inner city of where you go.
So what is the mama school? What school that the mama saying?
She wants him to go to this Harvard. It's a school. It's basically the Harvards of all high schools.
And how close that is?
That's the same distance. So the school in the inner city that he wants to go to, right, is 20 minutes this way. The school of Harvard is 20 minutes this way. What's the difference?
Is the school that because you say it's the Harvard of all high schools in Baltimore?
Yes, Baltimore County, correct.
So meaning it's a great school.
Academically, not
academically. What about the area? Is it in the midst of a crime infested area?
Crime happens over there as well in the area.
Come on now, come on.
No. It's not as listen. It's not labeled as it is, but it's this. It's so you got to understand.
Is it a white area?
Yes, but it's still crime there.
It's still crime, but it's like because I stay in a white area now.
Yeah,
we got crime because crime means that you speeding. That's to mean the crime or
no. There's a lot of stuff that
is niggas getting shot up every day over there.
Not every day, but I say once a week.
Once a week, somebody getting shot over there.
Yes. Because you gotta look at it. So okay, where that school is, right? You got Baltimore, and then you got that county over there, right? In that county. It's the same, they're literally next door to each other. You can hopscotch from county line to county line to say, I'm from Baltimore, I'm in the other district. I'm over here in Baltimore, I'm in the other district. That's typically how close it is. Literally. There's no difference. But at the end of the day, you're sending a kid to a school.
I think your baby mama I would say she found the best scenario. The best of all. I think she was looking at the best.
For her, he plays basketball.
Safety.
Basketball at that school has nothing to do with anything. That is what keeps his academics up. You have to send this kid to a school to what keeps him motivated for him to even have grades. And that's why I was trying to use the cheerleading thing with like your kids. Like, let's say, like I said, your daughters love cheerleading, but that is what helps them stay academically focused. You're going to take them away from cheerleading to say, hey, you got to graduate with your academics here? No, because
I think she will never mind the school itself. I don't think your baby mama saying the school itself is not going to provide y'all sons the academics and the sports and stuff, but she still want her son. The option that you're giving her is not the school itself, because okay, we see if the school is good, but you said the school she chose is the Harvard of all schools, meaning the school she chose, she tried to find the best scenario where she could put her son at. And now that more we talk, because I was heated. I'm still heated about the course, but we said nothing to the side. Now we're
Yeah,
just dealing with mother and father, right?
yeah.
Um, I believe that she wanted the best. Uh, she found the best situation for her sons.
But
Uh,
disregard the
I
interest
think
of
you
what
too
he.
hood. I think you too hood, and you're not realizing how hood you are. Um, that's where I'm at. I don't think you kind of realize how kind of ghetto you might be because you're accustomed to this. Now, people that she might came from the hood or not, but she seemed like she divested herself from that environment, and she told herself
Yeah,
alone.
but I mean, but my thing is,
Admit that.
you can never send your kid. They don't. You can't send them nowadays to a school that they don't want to go to that keeps them athletically inclined. You just can't do it. Kids are transferring and leaving schools left and right. Kids are leaving the state to go to different schools so they can make it out left and right. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the
She don't want her
OC.
babies to go, not know out of state. See,
They
because
have no choice.
that's how I am with my daughters.
So if you don't
Somebody come
want
tell
them,
me, yeah, your daughters finna move out the state for a year or two. You got me fucked up. It's logically is wrong.
yeah,
Emotionally, I'm right.
yeah,
They're my
oh yeah,
baby.
everybody emotions. And emotions is like politics. Nobody can tell you what your emotions is at any time. Emotionally, you're always going to be 100% right. But my thing is, for what's the best interest of the child is what they want, right? If they want to go to this, I'm gonna say, let's say,
No, no,
school 4 hours away, you're not gonna let them go.
no. See, the best interest of the child is not about what the kid wants. That's the parents come in and say,
But that's their future.
we know
So they're
this is where the parents come in at. Like kids want all kinds of stuff, right?
yes.
Like for example, I used to want to go to my auntie's house, my other auntie's house, because you get more freedom there. There's more boys around. You know what I'm saying? We the band. But my auntie said, "Oh hell no, you ain't going over there. I want to go." Eventually, I ended up going after she kicked me out. But in that time, I didn't realize that my auntie was saving me, was trying to save me from the certain areas. I could have been selling dope, getting robbed, getting killing. That type of shit was going on. And she knew me. My auntie knew me since I was a kid. That she tried to protect me from. She tried to remove that side of me out. But I didn't realize. So when we say you can't just always based on what kids want, because that's why the parents come in. Because even though the kids want that, but you will know like, okay, yeah, son or daughter, I know you want to be this, but here's this. This is why I don't want to see you this. I don't want to see you here. So in that perspective, now that we get deeper in the conversation, outside of the court stuff, I think she was trying to have her, as I'm talking, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she was trying to talk to you about this, and only man who she know could try to talk to you is probably her husband. That y'all probably somewhat
But
cool.
that's not. But see,
Was y'all ever cool before?
you're saying it very logical, right? But that's not how it happened. It was her answer and her answer only, and then that's why it got to where it got to where he got threatened to be removed from the house. At the end of the day, the kid had very many great options, right? Outside of being, because this last inner city after was the last resort. This is all he had left after she turned down everything, right? He could have been away an hour up the highway that way, traveling the world to some of the best high school tournaments, been on ESPNU for his last year of high school. I've taken the whole objective for a kid who was up and coming in sport is what to get an athletic scholarship, right? That is their dream, to go on these college visits and do it, but you cannot do it at a local school no more. You have to get with the times. You have to go with that. And he had that opportunity. And basically, because he wasn't allowed that opportunity, it escalated.
But here's my thing. Now okay. I think if I had wished to have this conversation with my baby mamas them about my
Yeah.
kids and schooling, she will be down with that. But I won't. I will have a difficult time with it. You know why? Now this is why I want you to. You might can understand her. Just with this conversation right quick. The reason why my baby mamas them would understand would allow my kids to go out of town because she's so used to not seeing them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're on that. Yeah.
And I'm the parent that's 24/7 with my babies. So it telling them to go so far out the state is gonna hit me different from her.
Correct.
She gonna be kind of okay with it because she don't see them on a regular basis. I'm not gonna be okay with it because I'm 24/7 with my babies.
I agree, but I get where you coming from. But my thing for this, so there's an age requirement too for me. Like 17, okay, yes, he's old enough to live in a dorm for 6
But that's
months.
still her baby.
Correct. But again, when he graduates 6 months, 7 months down the road, right? And he goes to college. Let's say so now I personally feel hypothetically he's going to choose a school that's far away. Based on because he's already said I just want to get away from this, right? So he's going to choose a school to go to college in like Texas, California.
Why he feel like he want to get away from his mom though? Because
it's too much going on. Because all he wants to do is pursue his dream now at 17. He wants to pursue his dream athletically. You cannot. He feels like he's being sheltered to pursue his dream. Everything. He doesn't want to feel sheltered to pursue his dream. This high school sports thing is the dream for a lot of kids now. And then if you're good enough, you have to be able to. Listen, I'm up and down this highway. I'm in New York. I went to Texas. I'm doing all this for him. She's nowhere near the size. Texas, New York, Jersey. Yesterday he had an event in Springfield, Virginia. We in Hampton, Virginia, and we in North Carolina. We all over. Right? You athletically have to move, go to these. You have to go where they are for you to be seen.
I think she upset with you because she feel like you taking her kids from her.
But it's not. But that's not.
Because I would feel like that. If my baby, I seen my baby to their mamas. Them now my baby can come back. Dad, I'm finna move to New York. What? We in Wisconsin.
You have to send them
to New York.
Listen, like if you like understand the logic of how high school basketball is to him, our goal is to get these kids scholarships, especially athletically. So we as parents don't have to pay for college. College is very expensive because they want to go to college. These kids want to go and they want to pursue their dreams. But at the end of the day, we have to support those dreams so they can see that. Because at the end of the day, let's say let's put your scenario. You shut down that dream, right? Because you said no. We die tomorrow. That no is no longer in void, right? Because now you done put them locked into here. They can no longer remove themselves because now other things is happening. Let's say you have to understand if we go on tomorrow, are these kids set up to be in the best interest for themselves?
Logically, I see what you're saying, but we can't. I guess a lot of times when we say logically, compare logic with emotions.
Correct.
We let logic trumps emotions, which it makes more sense. However, you just can't diminish the emotional aspects of it.
And then that's where the emotions come in, where he was threatened for voicing his opinion. So now where the emotions come in, now your kids are mute. Your kids can no longer come home and be
she feel like you convinced them. You convinced them, so she's saying
the son is pushing back
on. Fucking get out there.
But
she really don't want that. She really heard about it.
Because I supported him in what he wanted to do by driving him to all these camps and playing in front of these coaches.
But now, it's easier for you to support him in that of leaving the state because I don't think I'm just assuming. I don't think he was raised in the house with you 24/7. So you can make that decision much easier compared to the mother that was in the house, raised his boy since he was a baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of
He's only we. Well,
Not saying that you want marry or nothing, because obviously you're a good
I
fighter.
know. I get what you're saying. I get what
But
you're
I'm
saying.
saying to be you taking. I think you crashing her with this. I think that should be something that you kind of like should kind of like mold like that type of stuff, because she already know he finna be grown anyway. She probably had in mind like my baby gonna stay with me until he get college degrees, whatever, and get himself together. But I think she more upset with you because you like slamming. You gotta keep in mind. So you gotta. That's what I'm trying to reverse it. Like, imagine like you used to seeing your daughters every single day, all day since there was a baby, and now you seeing your daughters to baby mama house. Now your daughters are talking about dad. They were just going on the weekend, probably for the summer. You barely don't like to sit by your daddy house for the summer. You barely even like doing that. Then they come back and say, Dad, I'm moving out of state to go for my dream. You like, what? No, the fuck, who told you this shit? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be a little upset. So I won't necessarily say that she kind of off on this. I'm not saying that she's off. Again, remove the courts type of situation. Yeah. I understand. I truly understand why she said, "Hell no, my baby." No, now she looking at you like them people trying to take her sons away from her kids away.
But at the end of the day, again, and this is the kicker though, Jay. This is the kicker. The voice of an opinion didn't come from me.
It came from the son.
Bingo. Then you threaten your child to be put out your house because that's what he wants to do. You can go live with your dad.
Because she know her son. She know her son. You haven't been talking like this until you start hanging around with your regular ass daddy. And now you want to come out talking about moving all out of time. You just said that you was taking them. This
has been happening before. This is before the summertime came. This started happening while he was at her residence. I am in the middle because I'm pop. Like when these schools called him, they called his phone first, right? And then secondly, he was like, call me. And what was my answer to all of them? Go talk to your mom. And then it escalated. So now I'm gonna put you in a scenario. I'm bringing you back into a scenario where I had to be put in. You bingo, your daughter said you threaten your daughter kicked out because that's what they want to do, right? They leave, go to mom, right? So what?
But when I tell my kids get out, that don't mean they mean get out because they got my daughter in the ass kicked.
Yeah.
She's just in her emotions because her son. Correct. Even like this because it's going to affect her. She want her son to leave her.
He removed himself, right? Didn't want to go back. So what do I do as dad? Into the midst of trying to get, I was kind of playing a mediator through the whole thing. Talk to your mom. She didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to talk to her. Blase, blase, blah. And then now the courts get involved, right? Now it's my fault because I'm trying to get them to talk. I even tried to drop him off. He didn't want to go back. They talked. I got pictures. They was talking at the police department. Where he leave back with me? What did I got to do? Make sure he eat, sleep, got a place over his head until they go to court. I'm thinking this whole court thing is they're going to go talk, get it together, blah, 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 blah. I am the blame. This had nothing to do with me. I really stayed back and voiced it. And all I kept saying was talk to your mom, and it blew up.
Now, again, remove the courts.
Yeah.
You said that you was taking your sons, them, showing them stuff where he could be. You was exposing him to certain stuff, and he kind of liked it. And I know you was telling him, this way you can go, son. This way you can be. You could be doing this. You could be doing that. And you don't get it twisted. Like you meant well, right? You meant well. You wanted to see the best of your sons. This is why I think, man. Establish communication when you and the other parent have a strong communication with each other. Um,
And
you
that's where the line draws. What I'm saying. There is no communication. It's your way or no way at all, if not the court thing. And then you got the dad, the stepdaddy, and the husband.
yeah, the husband like fuck him. I
Yeah.
think what you and the husband ever used to talk and be cordial and stuff.
Listen, I'm very cordial with both parties. No, the other parties are not cordial with me when it comes to me voicing what they explain to me. I answer questions. I say hi. I shake hands. I keep pushing. I'm the one that get all the disrespect.
Well, logically, you in the right as far as like you want to see best for your sons. Your son's gonna be 18. Now within a couple months, he can make his own decision. I think it's gonna hurt his mom more because she raised him.
Correct.
She's with
But
that
at the
boy.
end of the day, when you make decisions in life, and this is what I explained to him when we had this conversation, I get it, right? But I said this right before you went to court. Your decision in life, everybody else's feelings aren't involved. You're going to do something for yourself in life. I made decisions in life, and I personally did, thinking about the next person, and I only hurt myself.
I also
You get
understand
what I'm
that.
saying? You
Yeah.
have to do what's best for you and your future in life. And I tell all the kids that I mentor, it's not what your mama and daddy, your auntie and uncle, your best friend not gonna be in that
But you know
class.
what you're doing though? I hate to say this, right?
Yes.
I hate to go through crazy measures to make this point. Let me turn off this AC. But this is what you're doing though, G. This is the same equivalency. This is the equivalency. Can you imagine somebody telling your sons them, because the way how the world is today, based on the society and the environments that we have today, they can be influential. They can be influenced into stuff.
Correct.
And let's just say, because I'm going to use extreme measures so you can understand the importance of what you actually saying, what you saying. Let's say your son's done been peer pressure and convinced that he want to be a trans, and he has a coach. He has a coach or a gym teacher or some teacher that he really respect, saying, now he got this idea because he's peer pressure into this idea. Now they finna act on it. The teachers and his mentor and them, everybody around him, going to act on it, and they showing him that lifestyle and stuff like that. They talking to him, educating him about the lifestyle and stuff like that. So now he more intrigued, and he say, I think it's one problem though. And the gym teacher be like, what's the problem? My parents is totally against this. My dad, Kelly, they asked him, how you think your father, Kelly, would feel? My father, Kelly, will be totally against this. And the gym teacher tell your son, don't worry about what nobody else think. Do it for you. Because let's be honest, Kelly, even though we just role playing this out, this is what's happening now in schools for real.
Yes. And that kind of go with the trending video I've been resharing. I'm going back to my sports metaphor, right? I could probably send you the video following this thing, right? Top athlete in the country in football, right? Had an opportunity to choose between going to Alabama, the Florida Gators, and another, I think it was like Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kid chose to go to Florida to be a Gator. Mama got up during the signing day and left the table because he didn't choose Alabama. He did his homework on what's best for his position, right? So that is why he picked up that hat and said, and then the world asked him, what's wrong with your mom? He said, I don't know.
Yeah.
You
See,
can't be emotional on his signing day. That is his decision. We can't choose what college. Much as you wanted him to go to Alabama and stay within the state, he chose I'm going to Florida.
okay, here go another scenario. Here go another scenario that I would do. I would be looked at like the bad parent. If I raise my kids to see value in their own race,
Of course.
right? Being black, I was
Yeah,
black,
we on the same page with that. We definitely on the same page.
so we definitely on the same page. So imagine you had daughters, and now she about to get married, and she come in. Dad, me my new potential my fiance, we finna get married, and he a white man. Now there's all of these years that you don't raise and taught about black love and all this other type of stuff, going against the grain, and she chose on her marriage date. She listened to you, but she chose to still marry this white man. I think I would walk out too.
Yeah, but so all right, let me. I'm gonna kind of play devil's advocate in here, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like seeing like.
Yeah. I'm trying to, because I know much as you say this, like I know your heart for your daughter, because we talk. Me and you are like we're like this on two different sides of the thing, right? So
Yep.
I'm gonna say, okay, he came in with the white man, right? Your daughters came in because eventually you're gonna have to meet the man before the wedding day happened, right?
Right.
You were eventually gonna have that angry emotion, but again, I don't see you spazzing on them, your daughters, let's say your plural daughter right now, in reference to that coming in and like making the scene, right? You like to communicate, like, so I can see you sitting down with your daughter once he go home and to see him with her head as fully is, right, and going from there. Because at the end of the day, you try to figure out, well, I raised you to be this, because you like to communicate. You know what I'm saying? I know you talk to your daughters a lot. I know they probably are very educated, because you are very educated from street smarts and book smarts. You're you're a very educated person. So I see you try not to blow up the situation in front of everybody, but you're going to have that conversation, and you want to really see what happened, right? You're trying to figure out where the lines were drawn.
I think my impulse. I think because I value what I value so deeply.
Yes.
My impulse will automatically kick in if I can't control myself on these panels. you gotta think about it. My ultimate goal in my life is to raise a black family.
Correct. All same.
And that's what I'm trying to raise into my daughters.
Yeah.
To raise a black families, and for them to want to raise a white family, because a white man cannot give you a black family.
No,
those are lies that was told, and you still didn't see value in going against the grain, the value system. I don't think I'll be able to watch my daughter sign a pen and say, "Black family." She got two men that want her.
Yeah.
They both great men. Both of them great men. And she do her pen. He go the black man over here and the white man over here. And she decided to go with that white man. I would get up and leave too.
So here comes a real devil's advocate.
Goddamn though.
Yeah, so here go a real devil's advocate.
All that shit for nothing.
Yeah. Huh? So here go a real devil's advocate like response to. So let's say that does happen, right? You get up, walk away, right? And she's married to this white man, right? Would you abandon that relationship because of it with your daughter?
I think I will, because she's gonna want me to accept her white man, and let's say she's gonna start having kids by this white man. And I'm being 100% honest. she's not gonna want to bring her kids around me because she's gonna know the love that I share for them and her sisters as black daughters. I'm not gonna have. She gonna see that I don't have the genuine connection with her daughters or with her children because they white. So it will hurt her feelings. I don't have to even say nothing. It's gonna hurt her feelings that she bring a white baby around her dad.
Got you.
And the dad trying to play nice, like yeah, pet the baby and stuff like that. But she gonna know, no, this ain't dad because when we was little, dad loved us, and you know, she not gonna feel the connection with her kids and her dad.
I'm trying to think of what movie we talking about right now. I'm trying to think. They kind of. Remember the movie Lakeview Terrace? Remember what the black and the white couple moved next door next to and next to what's the name? And he kept bothering him because he didn't like it.
Yeah, he was a cop. That was, you point that gun at me, you better know how to use it. Yeah, when that black woman was with that white man.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I don't because my end all goal in life is to see black families. Just like every other race, their end goal in their life like to see Italians want to see Italians. So and so want to see. What up, Bruiser? Bruiser up in here. What's up, Bruiser? So they all want to see their own kind. And to see the rebellious, you know, I think women is very rebellious, especially when they start fucking. They become very rebellious against their fathers. Like the women that my ex-fiance, we was all black and stuff, but her dad wanted her to be with a man because, you know, they raised her to be some worthy of a man. And for her to end up with a guy like me, with me, he couldn't stand her guts. I can only imagine, like, you know, my daughter coming in this piece with a white man, finna have white kids.
All right, now let's flip the script though. Let's flip the script. Let's put it as if, let's say your daughter could take you to court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this. Being that you did that, right? Let's say you put her out and she took you to court because of it. Would you be pissed? You'd be pissed off, wouldn't it? Right? Had nothing to, because let's say you go back to my situation, right? You threatened to put him out because they wanted to pursue this. Let's keep it with the white man, right? But you didn't agree, so she left, right? She left, but she took you to court for it. You'll be pissed off. That court has nothing to do with that decision between you two.
Yeah. I still would be pissed because she took me to court and stuff. But like my feelings gonna stay firm. I'm very firm because shout out to Bruiser $5. Shout out to the candidacy. I'm very strong when it comes to like having families, creating families.
Correct. I love it.
I'm very, because I feel like I dedicated my life for my black children.
Yeah, but no court system can tell you about that dedicated life. None of them. No court system nor another man can tell you about what you built.
Right now, if she decided to do whatever she just decided to do, like, because I value my race. At the end of the day, can't nobody convince me that you can't find love within your race, so you got to date outside your race. Like, you gonna find a better love, and love don't got no color. That's crap, because the only color in the situation is you. And it's so many people trying to convince you not to reproduce your own kind. You know, they want you to reproduce mixed biracial children and stuff like that. So for me, like, by me knowing the game, I know that they trying their hardest to get black women to help erase their race with to help change their race from black into biracial. You know, they rather the society rather see the black race as biracials as opposed to being black. And by me understanding that, and to see her betray me for them, I don't gotta be able to look at my daughter in the eye and gain respect.
I got it. I got you.
I couldn't. I won't want her around me. I won't be able to sit up. I will have so much against my daughter. I won't be able to let her out. And knowing that I done developed resentment. I will look at her like she's an op in a way. It won't be loving and all this other type of stuff. Some people say, well, you can't never stop loving your kids. That's a lie. Yeah, you love them kids. You don't want nothing to happen to them. But that sometimes your kids can betray you to the point where you stop liking them. They will let everybody else in the world convince them, persuade them to do everything else, but you was the motherfucker that have been raising them since they was a baby. Done been through all kinds of shit with them. And they allow everybody else to come in and persuade them. I would just feel it would be uncomfortable to have my daughter here knowing that she got a white man and stuff like that. I won't be able to stomach her around me.
Yeah, I get that. That's it. And I get everything you're saying. I get everything you're saying. So now I'm gonna revert it back to, let's go back to let's go to my situation, right? So I had deja vu with this whole situation, right? For my son, right? Why deja vu? Because it happened to me at the same age, right? Playing sports. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, and it's crazy because like 19, 17, 18 years later, me and my mom talked about it, right? I was forced into something that I wasn't comfortable with doing. So what happened? What did I do? I ended up dropping out, stopped doing what I love, and then I got in trouble in the streets. I don't want to see that at all. So I'm going to support. I have to give that decision for me mentally. What is in the best interest of you? What would you like to do? What would make you comfortable to where you're going to continue living the good path you've been living? And that's kind of where I am with the situation. But even that, and that's the conversation I had with him. And this is crazy because after it all happened, I talked to my mom about it. And she said she had to learn the hard way with me. Because I ended up running away myself. So I can go do what I want to. And that's when I got in trouble, and then I joined the Army. Then the Army saved my life.
Yeah. I don't know. Because like I said, logically, we hitting on.
Yep.
It's not about nobody else.
Correct. And the crazy part, we can't think logically no more. I mean, it makes sense. Like logically, makes sense.
I don't think in other countries, and when I see other races of people, they usually stick to the grain. Mm-hmm. Asians will start a nail shop. They get too old. The kids will take it over and run it. Mm-hmm. Mexicans, they start like a Mexican restaurant. They get too old. They be their whole family running it. Their whole family. It's only in the black people race where they venture off and do their own thing. This is the reason why black people don't got. I believe black people don't have wealth to the point where stuff can get passed down. Every time we have a new baby, it start at ground zero again because we don't have nothing passed over because everybody want to do their own thing. And I think that mindset is really done weaken us because everybody else all other races move as a unit. That's the reason why the Jewish community is so strong and powerful. Yep. This is the reason why Mexicans done gain power. Asians done gain power. Arabics done gain power. They all understand the method of passing down something. and not letting their children choose and do everything else what they want to do. We lost the touch of allowing our kids to just do whatever we want to do, and I believe that's the reason why in the black race, because we allowing our kids to make their own decisions, but at the end of the day, with allowing our children to make their own decisions, we became weakened as a race. You know, we don't have nothing, no financial literacy or nothing. That's maybe the reason why we don't have no black strong community. We don't have no community, no village, because of that. What you just stated, and you know, let your kids do what they want and venture off. I understand when you're grown, but what's wrong with passing down businesses and houses?
Yeah, and I
Like
think that's where
grandparents and other races,
this is a whole, and I think this is a whole nother conversation we probably can like talk about later on. But a lot of situations now within our many communities, like there's not a lot of things that can be passed down, right? Am I right? Like generational wealth or generational like there's no more big mommy and big daddy type phases where they're leaving behind acres of land. Like we're buying land and leave for our kids, and the kids is building up on the land. There's no more of that.
it's see, the problem is we don't realize that we are big mama now.
Correct.
We
And that's
the
what
old
and that's what I was kind of
we the
leading
old
to. But
folk.
correct. And but that old school mindset, like you got I love your brain. You got that old soul of growing up, parenting, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But that is venturing away. And not everybody believing that no more because it's not being instilled in our communities.
So don't conform with it. Don't conform with I think our problem is we've been doing too much conceding and conforming to where we lost the trajectory of who we are as people, as a black race now.
Yes.
Anything goes now. And
we
got anything going. We don't have nothing that we stand on no more because we did too much conceding and too much conforming. I think us people, we need to yeah, we can't speak for the people that's not doing it, but the people that got that big mama scent, you know, that big, like, you know how it was, that big mama, big daddy structure. We got to realize we are those grandparents now. We the old heads now.
Yep.
And a lot of us don't realize that we keep thinking about, in our minds, we keep thinking about big mama them and aunties and mama them and granddaddy them. We those now. When you look at all these young kids, I'm looking at 2, 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, even 17-year-old. I know 21-year-olds look old as me. These dudes, they be looking old. They find out, I'm like, damn, I'm damn near 40. So, you know, I think we should instill that on our own. We don't have to have nobody's permission. I think we need.
And I think that is where the line draws, because everybody's head is different, and then who gets involved because nobody agrees with that mindset anymore. The law.
Yeah, the law is very it's instigators.
Yes, the law. The law is taking over that the mindset you're trying to instill is becoming null and void. Why? Because the opposite person don't agree with your thought process, and then who's involved? The law. The law has to supersede, or the court systems have to supersede the great process of what you're trying to instill in your son to say, hey, this, or son or daughters, or we can do this, but hey, this is how you do it. We can do this, and this is how you manage it. Or we can do this so we can continue to stay on top of each other, but because of the law, we're side by side with each other, and one is going down, and the other one is slowly, gradually, or even staying put.
Yeah, what's up,
like,
Chaz?
Like back in the day, they bury each other. Back in the day, my grandparents, they bury each other on top of each other, right? They got their own grave, grave site. They pay for their plots. They on their own land, acres of land, and they're buried on the acres of land. Nowadays, we got a child that lives buried over here. We got a child buried across the world. We're not all in the same. We even die segregated.
And that's the problem. We need to start buying land and stuff like that. And I think another thing too, like, what you gonna do when your son comes to you and say, Dad, I got an appointment. I want to schedule I'm about to schedule to get my dick cut off, and I got a BBW, a BBL. He walk in your house with a whole brand new BBL. Like,
well, listen, we had that conversation.
That's what the world is moving to, right?
Yeah, I listen. I listen, man. Listen, how you was just cursing and wilding out. Listen, emotions really gonna kick in.
He come to you with some leggings on, with a BBL. He done
I told, listen, growing up, hey, nothing against that community, nothing against none of what you know what I'm saying. I have nothing negative to say about it, but listen, I tell my sons all the time, I will go buy you some if you even thinking about it. Like, listen, you gonna have to come. I'm gonna go. Listen, she gonna come to the house. I'm gonna pay whatever you need to get you straight.
Right. Would you agree that's how the world is moving?
It's so crazy because listen, my 16-year-old, right? He gonna be the problem child, but he'll tell you, he said, I don't discriminate. He said, I knock him down, big, small, little.
Oh man.
They be like, yo, he said, long as I get mine, I'm good. They say he be tearing them big girls up, boy.
That's funny. I just had somebody at the club last night was all on this big girl. White girl too. All on this big girl. She was white too. I'm looking like, dog, come on, man. I'm just seeing like black women because I was at the club yesterday selling my hot dogs and stuff. And I'm just looking at these younger people, black young girls. They was into like hugging off at the club. Yeah, I'm seeing like black girls hugged up all on white boys, rubbing on his hair. Black boys, black men hugged all up on white girls. I'm like, man, damn.
See, and that goes back to a lot of conversations you brought up before, right? What is women chasing majority nowadays, right? Money, right? They figure, well, he gonna pay for everything tonight. Type deal.
I know. I think when they get with the white man, they find love with white men.
Yep. They figure, because when I go to the club, I'm stingy. I ain't. You say you stingy. Yeah, I ain't buying too many more drinks for you, brother. Now, if I'm with the fellas, we good. Like, I make sure the fellas is good. But as far as like I'm buying women drinks, I don't do that at the club like that. So
I'll buy a woman a drink, but
now I get a drink too. But as far as I don't do the constant drink. I don't do the constant drink flow.
Oh no, hell no. Oh hell no.
Because that would
I just don't believe it.
They be looking for the constant drink flow.
Oh, I'm back at your phone.
But yeah, that's
I think that's gonna be the new thing now, though. I think that's what they done convinced our people to be.
Yep, man.
Stream. You got off your chest. How you feel now?
I feel good, man. I like, honestly, you see how the conversation deviated because I got it all out.
Yeah, feel good. You got it off your chest.
I got it off my chest.
And that helps for mental health. But before you go, we done found all the negative stuff, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I'm trying to practice. And you're gonna be the first person I practice this with. Let's practice gratitude. Can you think of something positive about this situation outside of the courts? or do you have can you find like a more of a positive uh point of view that you can find within besides the course, even though I know you pissed.
Yeah, I mean the positive outcome of it all for me would be this. Long story short, and it's crazy because just kind of going back to the situation before I, to kind of give my answer, right? Do you know they asked me, can he talk to his mother while in court? And I said, of course. I said, that's all I've been trying to do, right? So long story short is he was able to have that conversation with his mom on what he would like to do for his education, athletic, career and goals. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping that conversation, opens back up to, even though he's going to be staying on campus, that they can have that conversation. They can go back and see each other and live a normal life. So hopefully that still keeps that communication to where, where threats are not involved or, or stuff like that. So I see that as the positive outcome. And that's for me. I have no hate, no love lost for nothing. I just hate that the situation had to go to a court for that conversation to even take place.
From listening to your story, y'all was extremely upset, how they doing you in the courts. Now, your children's mother, where she coming from outside of, with the course and thing, I can see where she coming from, and I understand her, because I will be the same way. Take my babies away from me. I don't give a fuck if it is a school. Hell no. Hell no. Now you can't slam that on me. Like that had to be something that I would have to that would take time, of planning, and that's why you need communication with the other parent. That would have to take time. Especially, can you imagine, right? Now look at it like this. And I'm not saying this your scenario. And nobody's saying that you don't love your kids or wasn't involved. Can you imagine that, let's say you have full custody of your kids, you raised them since they was babies. And the other parent, the baby mama, she was there but not really there.
Yeah.
Probably like every weekend or something like that. And she comes in and basically taking your kids away. Like when telling them that they can move away from you. I don't think you're gonna be able to handle that. I don't think you can't see it.
Yeah, see, a different thing with me is we literally split 50-50, right? So if that doesn't, let's say vice versa, like for instance, right? Let me give you a small example before we end this here. Well, let's say you got the girls, your daughters during the week, right? Monday through Friday, right? They go to mom's Friday evenings through Sunday, come back for school every weekend, right? Y'all split every other holiday. Y'all technically split 365 down the middle, right? Half and half, right? So what's the difference if the days of the week swaps? Make sense? If she spends, what's half of 365? What is it? 160, was it?
160.
Half and half. Yeah, so let's say it's swap. Yeah. So let's say it's swap to where now they go to school with moms down the street. You got them on the weekends. You got them all summer. You got them every other holiday. And then y'all still split the equal time. So what's the difference? So to you, what would be the difference? If you guys, flip roles. If you guys split the, 365 down the middle.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing. So that's kind. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Because if you guys are splitting equal time and you just swap roles just for a year, not even a year, Like, how does that affect the relationship?
I think your baby mom feel like you was coercing him into believing that he want to go out of town and stuff like that. I think that conversation should have been set amongst all three of y'all over
Now,
time, like
so
multiple conversations.
now listen to what you said. The course of the conversation should include all three of us, but it didn't. It included another man who talked it more than she talked.
Yeah, you actually had a conversation with him.
He was in the conversation. Me, my son, him, and her. It was four of us when it should have been three of us. Three of us.
Right. But you actually engaged in the conversation with him
No,
about your child?
No. He actually engaged in it with him during the process. We only had that one sit down.
Yeah, because I would have told him, I'm like, sorry, sir. No, I'm not jealous because you with my baby mama or married to my baby mama. But I appreciate you for being there with my baby mama and stuff. You married her and stuff like that. That's a good thing. But this child here, this between me and his mom. I don't feel like I need or even have to include your opinion about what my son and her son gonna have planned for him. Yeah, you her husband, but this is my son, and that's his mother. So I appreciate you if you would step out this conversation because it's not about you. Simple as that.
Got you.
I would have told him, I ain't no way in the world I'm gonna engage in a conversation with a nigga about my kid. No.
Yeah.
Oh hell no. I would try to be more conservative. I would start off with conservative first. I would let him know, like, man, this not a conversation that I'm gonna have with you.
Gotcha.
Period. We finna end the show, y'all. Shout out to Kelly.
Yes, sir.
Y'all make sure you YouTube channel, your IG in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Kelly. He on IG. You can let him know your IG. I don't know if you got a YouTube account.
Yeah, so it's Cali, Kali, Cali with a K, Elite, ELITE, Inc. INC is my YouTube. My platform is basically teaching student athletes how to be students first. I'm trying to, just like, Jay Prince preach, not too much of more financial literacy and a lot of education in our community. I try to stay within the inner cities and helping these kids grow. So I do those workshops for the kids, like financial literacy. So you'll find that on my platform. I do different things like teaching them how to do resume building, teach them how to be entrepreneurs, teaching them how to grow together, because, entrepreneurship, I think, kind of veering away at a young age. So I do a lot of things, and it's for the kids. And that's kind of why I have a lot of passion with this. So if you can follow me on IG as well, it's Cali, KALI_elite, ELITE_training, TRAINING. Yep, Cali Elite Training. So you'll find me there on those platforms.
And shout out to Just Hear Me Out for the $10 super chat. Good afternoon. I think this was a good conversation. I try to be 100% balanced.
Yeah.
But I honestly did understood both sides. Both sides I'm emotionally tied to. I'm emotionally tied to his baby mama side as we went deeper. Then I'm emotionally tied. I'm logically tied on his side and emotionally tied as far as with the court. So I'm stuck in the middle on that. This is a good stream, y'all. Thanks for rocking with me. We up out of here. Catch y'all Monday night. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, big dog. Appreciate it.
All right, now. Take it easy.